Guys, we have a big breaking news coming out. Russian strikes hit port and energy infrastructure in Ukraine. 5 has passed away, 19 injured. Once again, my condolences and prayer goes out to the families and friends that lost their loved ones. Let's see what's going on here, guys. Once again, please share the video. At least 5 civilians were out and 19 others injured in Russian strike across Ukraine over the past day. Regional authorities reported on October the 9th. The attack, which targeted residential areas and critical infrastructure, show Moscow continued campaign to pressure Ukraine by striking civilian targets while dismissing calls for a ceasefire. Alright guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. Before I start, let me just read this quick verse from the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 34. Don't worry about tomorrow. Live fully today and trust that God holds your tomorrow. Matthew 6:34. Once again, don't worry about tomorrow. Live fully today and trust that God holds your tomorrow. Alright, so we're going to see what's going on with this news here. Once again, guys, this war is going on. Seems like it's about to hit 4 years pretty soon. Alright, and we do have some more breaking news. I want to show you this one really quick. This is coming out today. Alright, so you have the leader. Zelensky said this: if the US president helps against Russia, we'll nominate him for the Nobel Peace Prize. Wow. Okay, so the US has been helping you. The commander-in-chief has been trying to help you and Putin to come together to end this war. I believe that's enough for him to get the Nobel Peace Prize. The problem is Zelensky wants Tomahawk. He wants so many things, and Donald won't give it to him. But the Tomahawks is a possibility. All right, so it says here, according to Ukraine's Air Force, the Bear Forces launched 112 drone, and overnight, air defenses intercepted 87, but 22 still hit 12 locations. In Kherson Oblast, the Russian strike has taken 2 and injured 8, the governor said. The attack damaged 10 houses and targeted both critical and social infrastructure. 3 were taken out and 2 more injured in Sumy Oblast, as Russian forces carry out nearly 50 strikes on 25 settlements across the region. In Odessa Oblast, at least 5 were injured in an overnight strike that hit civilian port and energy infrastructure, the governor said. So you have multiple cities were hit, multiple. The strike sparked fires in 2 houses, an administrative building of a gas station, and a port facility. 4 additional houses were damaged, leaving more than 30,000 people without electricity. 30,000 people without electricity. It says here, in Donetsk Oblast, 1 person was injured in the bear strikes, the governor said. In Kharkiv Oblast, also came under fire with 1 civilian injured as the bear used guided aerial bombs and drone against local communities, the governor reported. In Zaporizhzhia Oblast, the Russian strike has injured 2 and struck 14 settlements with a total of 580 projectiles, the governor said. The latest waves of strike continues Russia's pattern of targeting Ukraine's civilian infrastructure ahead of winter, amid heightened concerns over sustained strikes on energy facility. So you have multiple. You have Kharkiv, Donetsk, Zaporizhzhia, Sumy, Odessa, Kherson. Wow. These are big cities, very important city, especially I think Kharkiv or Kherson is the second largest city in Ukraine. And then you have Zaporizhia, which is a very important area because that's where the nuclear power plant is located. That nuclear power plant, I believe, is still running on generator. It's been um, it's been running on generator for like 2 weeks, which is very dangerous. Experts are saying that it could lead to Chernobyl, again, catastrophe if it's continuing running on generator. All right, so let's see what's going on here in this one. Zelensky said if the U.S. commander-in-chief helps against Russia, we'll nominate him for the Nobel Peace Prize. Zelensky says if the U.S. commander helps Ukraine fight Russia and help end the war, Ukraine will nominate him for the Nobel Peace Prize. Zelensky said the plan for ending the war won't be easy, but it is certainly the way forward. So hold on, let's stop here. This is very concerning. The plan for ending the war won't be easy. You know, whenever a leader speaks like that, it basically means that there's going to be a lot of innocence that will be taken out in this biblical war, because he knows it. He knows it won't be easy. The only way of ending this biblical war is by annihilating the bear. So the plan for ending the war won't be easy, but it is certainly the way forward. It's the only way of doing it. Possibly dropping some very powerful nukes. And if U.S. commander gives the world, above all, the Ukrainian people, the chance for such a cease plan, then yes, he should be nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. Zelensky says that Tomahawk weapon could finally push the bear to stop the biblical war and start real peace talk. No, it's not. I'm gonna have to stop here for a second. Absolutely not. I don't see that happening. This Tomahawk will only spark this biblical war, and the bear is not going to give up. The bear is not going to wave the white flag. What's going to happen is, just like what happened last year when U.S. gave the green light to Ukraine to fire those long range, the bear fired Orishnik. Same thing's going to happen. If they launch Tomahawk towards the bear is going to fire Orishnik. And this time, Orishnik, it will do some damage. It's a twist of irony. A Peace Prize nomination that depends on sending more missiles. Wow. You hear that? You get the Nobel Peace Prize when you send more missiles. That's not the way. See, the way I see peace, is if you read 2 Samuel, right? King David's son becomes the leader, Solomon. And the way he made peace with the king of Lebanon, I believe, is that, God came to his dream. God spoke to Solomon and said, what do you want, Solomon? Solomon is like, teach me, show me, give me wisdom. I want to take care of my people. I'm not capable of doing that. I need you to show me, to teach me, to give me wisdom. God is like, wow. That's very amazing. Usually other people ask for fame, for money, for all these things. But you want wisdom. You want me to teach you wisdom. It's beautiful. So God grant him, giving him wisdom. And the next day, Solomon wrote this letter. Very powerful letter to the king of Lebanon. And the king of Lebanon, he read the letter. And he was amazed. He told Solomon, together we make peace. Boom! Beautiful! Without missiles, without, barbarians, without, going, throwing spears and stuff like that. That one letter, God's wisdom, brought peace. Nowadays, a lot of these leaders, they don't follow Solomon's footsteps when it comes to requesting, asking for wisdom. They want missiles and more missiles and more missiles and more missiles and more missiles. I suggest people to read 1 Samuel and 2 Samuel. You will love it. I'm telling you, you will love it. Even, people that never read scripture, even atheists, read 1 Samuel, read 2 Samuel. It will change your life forever. It will change your life forever. And many leaders around the world, they need to read that. They truly need to read it. Because right now, we are definitely in the wrong path. These leaders are in the wrong path. Excuse me, guys. Give me 1 second here. I'm trying to see if there's any more information here. And once again, thank you for your support, guys. I really appreciate it. Through the Super Chat or PayPal or Cash App, thank you so much. Your support is what keeps us on air. Hey, thank you so much for that cup of coffee, Cash App. I truly need that cup of coffee, man. Give me a second here. Okay, so hold on. This is the one here. This is the one. We got to update Ukraine to nominate the US commander for Nobel Peace Prize if he secures ceasefire with the bear. The US commander who has boosted being ending 7 years since returning to office, has actively campaigned for receiving the prestigious award. Give me a second here. Let's see what's going on with this news. Okay, so it says here. So you have Ukraine is ready to nominate the U.S. Commander-in-Chief for Nobel Peace Prize if he helps secure a cease plan with Russia. Zelensky told journalists October the 8th, 2025. Now it says here the U.S. commander has pledged to broker a swift peace deal between Kiev and Moscow and end the full-scale Russian invasion, ongoing for more than 3.5 years. This effort has largely stalled as the bear continued to reject a cease plan and demands territorial concession from Ukraine. The U.S. Commander-in-Chief, who has boasted about ending 7 years since returning to office, has actively campaigned for receiving the prestigious award. It says here, 2025 Nobel Peace Prize is set to be announced by Norwegian Nobel Committee on October 10. As nomination for this year closed in January, any nomination the U.S. commander has received since then will not count towards this week's prize. Despite initially saying he would end the Russian-Ukraine war within 24 hours, the U.S. Commander-in-Chief later acknowledged that resolving it turned out to be a little harder than he thought. We all knew that. When we heard, even a lot of MAGA supporters, when we heard Donald say, I'm going to end this in 24 hours, we all knew that he was not going to end that in 24 hours. That war was already broken out and just total chaos. You can't end that. And plus, Putin sometime, again, he don't listen to world leaders. He just, I do what I do. I don't give orders to you. You guys won't listen to me. I won't listen to you. You guys are still in Syria. So, the Bear Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei recently said that the strong momentum for ending the biblical war has waned since the U.S. commander meeting with Vladimir in Alaska on August the 15th. While the U.S. Commander-in-Chief pledged to arrange talks between Zelensky and Putin, no agreement was reached. Zelensky rejected Vladimir's invitation to meet in Moscow, calling it impossible while Russia bombs Ukraine, but repeatedly said he is ready to meet the bear leader on neutral ground. The Alaska summit, initially expected to include sessions on bilateral cooperation, ended abruptly after those segments were canceled. 2 months later, no tangible progress has been made towards peace. The U.S. commander has also sought to broker a peace deal between Holy Land and Hamas, announcing on October the 8th that the two parties agreed to the first phase of the U.S. brokered peace plan. Amazing. Okay, so that's where we at right now. That's where we at. When it comes to nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom, these two are still going at it back and forth. I think what needs to happen is these world leaders, they need to pray to God. I believe God is the only one that could ease the heart of these leaders. Remember, he hardened hearts to multiple leaders. He did it to Pharaoh, to King Nebuchadnezzar. God could also bring peace. He did it. 2 Samuel, when Solomon wrote the letter to the king of Lebanon. Actually, the king of Lebanon is like, Solomon, you could build your temple here. Actually, you could build your temple for your wife. 2 temples. So Solomon built the temple for his wife. So again, that goes to tell you that was some real peace. And that was because of God. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please share the video. Till next time later. Peace.